Hello everyone, and welcome to some more horrific news. Alright, looks like we have some more Terrifier 3 news. Terrifier 3 director praises stomach-churning VFX team in new set image. Horror fans are just 4 months out from Damien Leone's Terrifier 3, a highly anticipated slasher sequel will see Art the Clown bringing blood-soaked Christmas cheer this spooky season. One of the best parts of this franchise has been the practical gore, which has always been done with the help of Leone's creative mind. However, with Terrifier 3 being the biggest film in the franchise to date, Leone has recruited a new VFX team to bring this frosty nightmare to life. Earlier this week, Leone took to Instagram to thank his makeup FX team led by Christian Tinsley. The director admitted that the scope of the film was just too big and the requirements were too great, so it was time to bring in an amazing team, so I could focus on directing. He would go on to praise Tinsley for his team's work, saying, "They took on every insanely horrific idea I threw at them with gusto. No was never an option. Even when it was something I came up with on the spot at the last minute. Those are the kind of artists a director dreams of working with." As for the film itself, Leone didn't mince words when it came to what fans should expect from Art's next murder spree. To all the Terrifier fans out there, you seriously can't imagine what's in store for you come October. Your stomachs will turn and your minds will be blown. The first two films are best known for their traumatizing kills and their extremely high levels of blood. These comments are only going to make horror fans run wild as they think of the gruesome possibilities. Okay, sounds interesting so far. Hopefully that Leone isn't being a one-man shop, because we saw what happened with Terrifier 2. Because he's a one-man stop and he's doing everything himself and he sort of like couldn't delegate anything just because it was basically a crowd-funded film. The editing and the storyline went on too long and it wasn't tight. You found yourself getting exhausted towards the end. A lot of people have the same complaint that sort of last third act was just excruciatingly slow and went on and on and on and took too long. People had it kind of took people out of it, so whatever shock factor it had at the beginning got lost. These type of films aren't meant to be 2.5 hours long, so we'll see. Hopefully this will give him a chance, and hopefully he's listened from Terrifier 2 and this third one is tighter, because this has the potential to be the next big franchise. A lot of franchises were created in the 80s and they've continued on and on and on, and to the point where they've been beaten to death, and we really haven't had anything new. Terrifier is like first proper new franchise with legs, in the sort of slasher category. So I'm hoping that by having this VFX team, it sounds like they're like proper old school horror effects, so it's not all digital, it's practical effects. It's back to what horror is about and creativity, and we'll get a bit of excitement about the films again. Do you remember you got excited about what the effects team were doing and how to come up with stuff and the sort of mad science interviews? Because that's what it basically was, like a bunch of mad scientists. Wahaha, we have come up with this. Wahaha, this is brilliant. And you got bought into the excitement of it, which has been lost, especially over the last 10 years, has been lost a lot in horror. Terrifier brought that back, like the first one brought that back, and I think it shocked people who didn't grow up in the 80s, because the sort of old school horror came back, but it was done for modern times, and it did shock a lot of people, which is cool. Sometimes you need a bit of that. You need your world shaking a bit. If that makes sense. That's the whole point of the horror genre, to make you go, whoa. And while Terrifier 2 had some brilliant scenes, it got in its own way. So I'm hoping this is because that burden of the special effects has been taken off him and Leone can focus on the script. I'm hoping to get a tighter story, and not that, he was starting to run around in circles. And I think, honestly, Terrifier 2 is because he was burnt out, because he was trying to imagine all himself and he didn't have the right team with him. At this stage, Leone needs his team. He needs a team of the right people around him, because this is stepping up to the next level. He's not just a one-man stop anymore, and he needs people that are going to rein him in where he needs to be reined in and help him to achieve his vision. So if the effects team are going to help him achieve his vision, that's a pressure that he doesn't need to worry about. He just goes, "Can I have this, please?" And the team go, "Yes, certainly," and do their utmost to produce it. So straight away, he's not worrying about that. He can then focus on the storytelling. So I'm interested. I'll not say I'm excited, but I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. And I hope it reins back in and this franchise will carry on. I don't want it to fail. I want this thing to succeed. I don't want it to burn out and just suffer from bad storytelling and bad editing, and a director getting burnt out because they're busy having to do everything by themselves. But we'll see what happens anyway. Let's crack on with the article. Taking place shortly after the events of the last dreadful film, Terrifier 3 and Art the Clown have taken over the chilling holiday season for the first time. It's Christmas Eve and all is quiet through Miles County until Art returns to start another vicious massacre, as most of the surviving characters from the second film, like Laura Navarre, Sienna Shaw, and Elliot Films, Jonathan Shaw, return for this Christmas in hell. Not even Santa Claus is safe from this demented clown's wrath. The film will also be diving more into the Shaw siblings' backstory, with their deceased father, who has a mysterious connection to Art's reign of terror. Terrifier 3 scourges its way to theaters on October 11th, 2024. While fans wait for the first trailer, you can view Leone's full thank you post and Terrifier 3's previously released teaser below. There it is. So I'll have that for you. Obviously, as always with these, the link to the full article is in the description if you want to check it out yourself. This bit has me concerned. This is the bit where I am saying this franchise can run itself into the ground. The whole tenuous link between Art and trying to explain him. Art, the clown, is an agent of chaos. Entity, because that's basically what he is. He's an entity. It wears a human skin suit, but it's not human. And trying to explain that and rationalize it takes away from the horror. The fact that this thing exists in the world, and if you happen to cross it at the wrong time, that's it, you're done for. That's the horror aspect of it. This culture of over-explaining everything that has basically destroyed movies. If you think about it, the last 15 years, this need to over-explain has really destroyed storytelling. Show, don't tell. That's the old adage. Show how things are happening. Don't have to stand and give monologues and explanations and explorations, all that kind of stuff. This is where this franchise is potentially in trouble, in my opinion. If it happens to be, I can think of their father being maybe one of the characters out of All Hallows Eve. I'm thinking that guy that had the art piece, went and see him. If maybe it's that sort of, a nudge and a wink of who he was, fair enough. However, even at that, it's taken away the randomness. The terrifying thing about Art the Clown is you've just no idea. We've seen him in the movies walk past people and not take a blind bit of notice. And then others, that's who he targets. That's the whole frightening thing about it. And that's the sort of horror aspect. So I hope that he gets whatever it is out of his system and it's not a really contrived, because if Art turns out to be Sienna's father or something stupid like that, God, that's it. This franchise is done. And obviously social media people screaming whatever else, that's always the case. But they know themselves. They might cry for something, but when they get it, generally they end up disappointed, and that just removes any magic and mystery and anything from the franchise. So I'm hoping that he has somebody speaking to him. Hopefully he only has somebody on his team now and rein them in these bits where he might go too far, because you saw that in the second one and it was all hinted and it was a bit contrived and it was really did a fledgling franchise damage. Yes, there's been an anthology and a movie, and Terrifier was like the third iteration of Art. It has been going on a long time, but Terrifier really brought this to the zeitgeist, and Terrifier 2 almost undid all of that work. And I just hope that when it comes to the third installment, that he gets all this sorted out and reins in a lot of the stuff that took away from things. But we'll see anyway. What are your opinions? Am I completely mad talking about this, and do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. And just leaves me to say, until next time, come up to the channel, do the terrifying things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.